Okay, as a review from yesterday, let's look at number A. Okay, number A. Yes, I know, it's okay. How did we find the vertex of number A? First of all, before you answer that question, answer this question. What form is this in? Standard form, right? Standard form. How do you know it's in standard form and not vertex form? Because of reasons. Actually, that's good. Okay, can you tell me what reasons? Okay. Ax squared plus bx plus c. That's standard form. That's why that's in standard form. Okay. How do we find the vertex in standard form? Correct. Negative b over 2a. What does that give us? What does negative b over 2a give us? Just the x coordinate of the vertex, right? How did we find the y coordinate of the vertex? We can put it in a calculator, or we can substitute 3 in for every x up here to solve for y, correct? Okay. How do we find the axis of symmetry? The x coordinate of the vertex, right? Excellent. Okay. How do we find the x-intercept? How about if I say y-intercept instead, because that's what I actually meant? Very good. It's the c, right? The c of the ax squared plus bx plus c. It's okay. How did we find the point symmetric to the y-intercept? Isn't this where we stopped? We kind of stopped right here, and what did we do? We graphed it. We found our table. We plotted our points from our table, because then we could look very easily and see that if that's our y-intercept, that is going to be the point symmetric to it. Okay, and that point is 6, negative 2. On this particular problem, how did we find our x-intercepts? We plugged it into the graph in our calculator, and we used the analyze. Excellent, excellent. By 0, okay? Any questions about any of that? That's just a really super quick review about what we did yesterday. Okay? Very good answers, by the way. Very good. Okay? So what about B? How is B, number B, different? That's vertex form, isn't it? How do you know it's vertex form? There's some parentheses there, isn't there? Okay? So remember, this is ax minus h squared plus k, right? Okay? So where's my vertex in vertex form? Now, let me throw you guys some reminders. I see several of you doing this, and I'm very proud of it. But some of you are actually turning back to the front, aren't you? And looking back at this chart that we talked about yesterday. All we did is talk about this one yesterday, right? Well, now we're on this side, so you can turn back to this chart if you don't remember and look. Excellent job. Okay? Our vertex in vertex form is HK. So what would our vertex be for this particular problem? Yes, the second one that you said. Why is it negative 1, 3? X minus h is the formula, right? That's what we know for sure. It's x minus h. This would have to be x minus something to find h. The only thing it can be minus is a negative 1. Yes? Okay. If we have x minus h, that's what we know our formula is, right? We have x minus a negative 1. Well, we don't really have x minus a negative 1. We have x plus 1. But are these two things the same? X is in the formula. The negative sign is in the formula. This tells me what h is. Does that help a little bit? Okay. So can somebody tell me the axis of symmetry? Super close. Yes, absolutely. X equals negative 1. Why do I have to write x equals negative 1 and not just negative 1? It's a line. Very, very good. And we can't just call lines by numbers. Okay? We have to call them x equals something or y equals something or something like that. Okay? All right. Y-intercept. Is the y-intercept easy to see in vertex form? If there's a lot of words, it's not going to be easy to see, is it? This in fact says plug 0 in, x into, plug 0 in for x into the equation to find y. Okay? Well, if that's 0, what's 0 plus 1? What's 1 squared? Times 2? 2 plus 3? 5. Wait, how do I write the answer though? Ooh, why 0 comma 5? Very good. It's asking for the point of the y-intercept. Good. You did mental math. I'm proud of you. What's the mistake a lot of people make about this point though? Where do they look? Yeah, they look right there. Okay? Because in standard form, we can just look at that last number, can't we? Can we look at that last number in vertex form? No. Okay? Is there another way to find the y-intercept that's relatively simple? At this point, remember how yesterday we stopped at this point and did the graphing in the table? What if we stopped right here and did the graphing in the table? I could find it in my table, couldn't I? Okay? I could. So let's go ahead and stop and find the table and the graph by plotting the points in our table. So on my calculator, on my calculator I'm going to go to a graph. I need a new graph. Everybody know how to get to a new graph? At the home button, press a new document. No, I don't want to save my old one. And make a graph. Okay? So you can't see that. All right. 2 open parentheses x plus 1 squared plus 3. Control T gives me my table, right? Okay. What do I want in the center of my table if I have a choice? Your vertex. At first I thought you said your birthday. And I was like, maybe. Okay. So 21, 11, 5, 3, 5, 11, 21. Now, am I some magician that I saw -4 was 21, -3 was 11, -2 was 5, -1 was 3, and then I saw 0 was 5, and then I didn't even scroll down any, and I wrote 11 and 21. And then I actually scrolled down. Oh my gosh, it's right. Am I a magician? What do I know about parabolas? They're symmetric. They are the same on each side. Okay? So I saw the pattern going up, and I know the pattern's the same going down. Fair enough? Good job. So let's plot those points. Obviously, I can't plot -4, 21, and by obviously, I mean there's not a 21 on the graph, right? Okay? So -3, 11. -2, 5, -1, 3, 0, 5, 1, 11, 2, can't plot that one. Wait, do I connect these points? How do you know? How do you know it's continuous? That tells me it's a function. What tells me it's continuous? Yes, the equation is given. Good. You guys are telling me great definitions of functions. I'm proud of that. Okay, good job. So I'm going to go ahead and draw. This is awful, by the way, because it goes back. You don't ever want your parabola to go back on itself. It should be more like that. So sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw on my